Welcome back, everyone. This is part 3 of the wiring instructions for the wearable droid. I'm Dr. Montgomery, computer science professor, and I'm going to show you how to wire up most of the servo, which is the motor at the very top. So we are needing to do a couple things here. So last time we had made our little cable, we've powered on our Arduino, I've disconnected my battery, I don't need to connect it again for a little bit. Now we have this set of wires coming out of our servo right here, and these wire collars here represent something. So the brown to the far right is our ground, the middle wire is the red wire, that's our voltage, our positive, our power, and this yellow orangish wire here, this is our control wire. This is going to be our data wire. This wire here is going to plug into the Arduino into a pin that we'll be able to program to make it do something. So both the ground on the outside and the red wire are going to have to plug into various components to get power to the device, and that's what we're going to work on next. So first off, I'm going to unplug this red wire here that went into the voltage reducer from the side here. This red wire here, I've unplugged it. I'm going to unplug it all the way. Just going to kind of pull it off the side because I'm going to connect it together. So I'm going to splice this wire here with the red wire coming out of here. All this needs to be 5 volts. And so I'm going to have this here running to the voltage reducer, getting 5 volts out, and then it's going to go 2 places. It's going to go to the Arduino, and it's going to go to the servo up here. So I just got to splice this and make this a new wire. So I'm going to do that. First though, I'm going to go ahead and cut this wire. I know that's kind of scary, but I'm going to take, about an inch or 2 off of the robot, so it's just kind of hanging out here. Somewhere out there, I'm just going to cut this. Use my little snips here. You can use any cutter that you want to. Somewhere around there, I'm going to cut that wire. This here, we can use for other wire stuff a little bit later if you wanted to, but really has no other use for the project. So I'm just going to put it to the side. Go over there, wire. Sorry, I had a little drink of coffee there for a quick sec. All right, so we have cut this guy here. I need to do some more cutting. I'm going to take this guy here and I'm going to cut him in half. This is that red wire that we were looking at a little bit ago that went into the voltage of the Arduino. I'm going to cut him in half. So now we have that guy cut too. Perfect. Now this here, I've got another new wire. This is the yellow wire. This is going to be our data wire. This is basically the reason we cut this, that control wire to the left-hand side. This is going to put a connector on this so I can plug this into the Arduino to be able to control it a little bit later. So I'm just going to, somewhere around there, I'm just going to cut this, and that's just going to give me a little wire I can play with a little bit later. So now I need to strip some wires. So the first ones I'm going to mess with are the ones that go into the servo. So they're bound together, but you can kind of pinch them and pull them apart like that. Kind of get your hands in there a little bit and pull apart like that. So they kind of separate out like this. So now I just got to strip the wires of those guys. Now I'm not going to strip the brown one yet because that's my ground. I'm going to tie the grounds in later, so I'm not going to mess with that wire just quite yet. I'm going to get that wire a little bit later in the project. Let me go ahead and remove my ground here for a second just to give myself some room. We know where everything goes. We've done this once. So I'm going to get this back in that 20 there and then try to strip that. So, oh, not the brown. So, oh, don't do that one. Don't do that one. Do the red one. My big hand's in the way. Hopefully you students have smaller hands than I do. There we go, just like that. Strip that off. The red is just like that. And then the data wire over here, same thing. Hold that there. Look over my camera at the same time. Oh, didn't get it that time. We'll try again. There we go, got it. All right, stripped. Perfect. Now I'm gonna strip these wires too. These are the wires. I'll make these a little bit shorter. These red wires. I'm going to make them a little bit shorter, I think. You always can go back and play with wires and longer, shorter, whatever you need to fit them into the spaces you need them to go into. But I'm going to strip all these guys here too. So I'm going to strip the red wires. It's a little easier. Control wire and the other red wire, which will be my voltage. We'll strip all those guys just like this. And so now we're just going to kind of connect in the wires. So we're not going to mess with the brown wire. That's our ground. We're going to do a common ground and tie a bunch of grounds in at one time a little bit later. But we're going to go ahead and wire up the other two. So this will give us voltage over here. And I'd like to have a little bit more wire exposed there. So I'm going to go back and get that a little bit more, I think. Maybe. If I can get a little bit more off that, that'd make me a little happier. Right there, maybe. I'm going to break it if I keep messing with it. All right, that'll do. It's about the same. It's fine. All right, so I'm going to take all three of these wires, all three of the red wires, this red wire here, this red wire here, this red wire here, and we're going to tie them all together like this. We're going to twist them. Twist, 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 twist. Get out of there, yellow wire. I don't need you yet. Go over here. Twist these red wires. Twist, 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 twist. And then I'm gonna, so they get really nice and twisted. I'm gonna bound over. If you are able to solder, this is a great time to do some soldering. If you're not soldering, you could do a little hot glue, but that should be nice and tight. That should not have any looseness to it. Should be, no, like you have bendiness, of course, but nothing should be loose. So I'm gonna take all three of these wires here, and I'm gonna put a little bit of electric tape around it. Electric tape around there, make sure no exposed wires, because we don't want any kind of connections to touch. If they touch, that's how things short circuit and things go boom boom. Zero, boom, boom. So the red wires are now very easy. So we've made a splice here. So now that red wire will plug back into the Arduino, and at that top of that pin 4. So let me kind of show you where that's at. I'll move this out of the way. I'll do the same thing the other wire too. Move him out of the way so I can kind of show you what I'm looking at here. Get out of there, you two. All right, perfect. So the red wire here, it comes out of the Arduino. I now have two connectors off of it. One of those connectors is going to go to my out of the voltage out. There we go. The other one will go to that top 4th pin up here, pin 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like that right there. So now, you can see what's going on here. I've got the wire coming out of my servo. It's now spliced over, and now it's going into my Arduino, just like that. So now I have voltage going into those. And I'm leaving this kind of outside of the robot. It's a little easier to show what's going on as I do that. So that's going to go to that 4th pin. You'll notice the ground's not plugged in. I could plug that ground wire in now too, just to kind of get it out of the way. I'm just going to kind of show you where that's going. This wire's a little long, but that's not that big of a deal. We can make that shorter if we wanted to, but this is just like that. The wire's a little too long, but we can make it shorter if we wanted to fit everything in there, or just shove wires in there when we wanted to at that point. The last wire we really need to deal with for the servo is this data wire here. And you probably expect what we're going to be doing here. We're going to take this data wire. I'm going to take this guy here, and I'm just going to twist these guys together. Just like this. Twisty, 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 twisty. And just My recording times are always in the mornings. That's when I have time before I teach my college classes, so I'm probably on too much caffeine to be wiring stuff like this. My hands are got that extra shot of espresso in there. A little Starbucks, wonderful what's going on. But that's fine. So bend that over, twist, 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 twist. Just like that. Should be nice and tight. And then, of course, you know what's coming up next. We're going to put a little bit of electric tape on that guy. Across, and then we're going to wire up the electric tape around that guy. So no exposed wires. Exposed wires, bad. Do not want any exposed wires. That is how fires happen. I'm joking. There will not be a fire, but you know, short circuit something, and the magic smoke will come out of our computers, and man, it's hard to get the magic smoke back in those things. So we're going to leave this wire we've just created. So now we have a connector to plug into our Arduino from the servo. We have the ground wire from the servo. We'll deal with a little bit later. So I'm going to take both these wires. I'm going to put them over to the side for now. You're going over there, guys. And we will deal with you next time in our next video, where we'll be covering buttons and buzzers and other operations. But we are well on our way, moving forward on our wiring of our wearable droid. I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you for watching.